When most people hear the words black box, they think of airplanes. But did you know that many modern cars also have their own version of a black box? These devices, more formally called event data recorders or EDRs, can be crucial in car accident cases. In today's video, we're going to explore how black box data is used in car accident cases, why it matters, and what you need to know if you're ever involved in a collision. Let's start with the basics. A black box in a car isn't a big recording device like you might imagine on a plane. It's a small computer chip built into a car's airbag control module or other vehicle systems. The device is designed to record certain types of information about how the car was being operated before and during a crash. So what kind of information are we talking about? Black boxes usually store data such as the speed of the vehicle at the time of the crash, whether the driver was pressing the accelerator or the brakes, the steering angle, the number of passengers in the car, whether seatbelts were being used, and the timing of airbag deployment. Some models even record whether the anti-lock braking system was engaged or whether there was a sudden change in velocity. This information is not recorded continuously, but in short bursts just before, during, and immediately after a collision. In most cases, black boxes capture data from the last 5 to 10 seconds leading up to impact. That's a small window of time, but it can reveal a lot about what actually happened. Now, why does this matter in car accident cases? Because in legal disputes, there are often conflicting stories about what caused the crash. One driver might claim they had the green light, while the other says the opposite. Someone might insist they were driving within the speed limit, when in fact the black box data shows otherwise. The black box provides an objective, technical record that doesn't rely on human memory or perception. For accident investigators, insurance companies, and attorneys, this data can be a game changer. For example, if the data shows that a driver was traveling at 80 miles per hour in a 55 zone, that becomes powerful evidence in proving negligence. If it shows the driver never hit the brakes before the collision, it might suggest they were distracted or impaired. On the other hand, black box data can also protect drivers who were wrongly accused. If the data shows the car was going the speed limit and braking appropriately, it can clear someone of blame. So how exactly is black box data accessed? Typically, specialized equipment is used to download the information from the car systems. Law enforcement officers, crash reconstruction experts, or even the car manufacturer may have the tools to retrieve the data. However, accessing this data often requires legal permission. In many jurisdictions, the vehicle's black box data is considered the property of the car owner. That means law enforcement or insurance companies may need a subpoena, a court order, or the owner's consent to access it. Once the data is retrieved, experts analyze it in the context of the accident. They might look at how fast the car was going 5 seconds before the crash, whether the driver attempted to brake, and how severe the impact was. When combined with witness statements, skid mark analysis, traffic camera footage, and police reports, black box data helps build a much clearer picture of the accident. But here's something many people don't realize. Black box data is not always perfect. Like any technology, it has limitations. Not all cars have the same type of recorder, and some may not capture as much information as others. Data can sometimes be incomplete or corrupted, especially if the crash was severe enough to damage the electronic systems. Additionally, interpreting the data requires expertise. Raw numbers don't automatically prove fault unless analyzed properly. There's also an important privacy debate around black box data. Some drivers are concerned that their vehicles are recording too much about their habits. While the main purpose of these devices is safety, insurers and regulators may push for broader use of the data in the future. That raises questions about how much control drivers should have over their own information. Despite these concerns, courts have increasingly accepted black box data as reliable evidence. In many high-profile accident cases, this data has been the deciding factor in determining liability. Insurance companies often request it during claims investigations, and personal injury lawyers may use it to strengthen their cases. In fact, some crash reconstruction experts argue that black box data is more reliable than eyewitness testimony, because it's not influenced by stress, memory gaps, or bias. Let's consider a real-world example. Imagine two cars collide at an intersection. One driver claims they stopped at the red light and were hit by the other driver running the signal. The other insists they had the green. Without witnesses, this becomes a classic he said, she said case. But if investigators pull the black box data and see that one car accelerated straight through without braking, while the other was stopped, the truth becomes clear. Another example. In trucking accidents, commercial vehicles almost always have advanced black boxes that record not only speed and braking, but also driving hours, GPS coordinates, and even driver fatigue warnings. This information can be crucial in lawsuits involving serious injuries or fatalities. So what should you do if you're ever involved in an accident and think black box data might help your case? First, talk to your attorney right away. They can move quickly to preserve the data before it's lost. In some cases, black box information may be overwritten if the car is driven after the crash. Acting quickly ensures the evidence is saved. Second, be aware of your rights. In most states, you own the data from your car's black box. Unless you give consent, insurance companies or others may not be able to legally access it without a court order. However, if your case goes to trial, a judge can order the release of the data. Third, understand that black box data is just one piece of the puzzle. While it's powerful evidence, it works best when combined with other forms of proof. Photos, videos, medical reports, and witness statements all play a role in building a strong accident case. In conclusion, black box data has become one of the most important tools in modern car accident investigations. It provides an unbiased account of what happened in those critical seconds before and during a crash. Whether it's proving negligence, protecting an innocent driver, or helping insurers settle claims more fairly, black boxes are shaping the future of accident cases. If you drive a modern vehicle, chances are you already have a black box on board, quietly recording information you might never think about until you need it most. So the next time you hear about car accident cases in the news, remember that behind the scenes, black box data may be telling the real story.